Welcome, guys, to another episode of Eco Talks. Today's topic is actually quite personal as well as very insightful for every one of you. In this fast paced world, what we actually look at is on the success side of it. On the contrary, we only look at how miserable life can be or how sad relationship can be. Today's episode will actually try to cover these small nuances and opportunities we can have in our life to improve our relationships, to have better mental health, and also, as we keep on promoting, have a better and a slow living. In today's episode, we'll have someone who has spent a decade long in managing relationships, in helping people to get out of depressions, medication, and has also been vocal about mental well-being. Ma'am, welcome to the show and thank you for giving us your time.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me here. Thank you for this opportunity.
So I think before we diverge into a conversation, about mental well-being and how you're, why don't you walk us through your journey? Like, I mean, I know your story, but for our audience, walk us through your journey from your childhood and to the journey where you are right now.
Okay, so because this topic is on relationship, let me talk about that. So, all my life, I've lived in a nuclear family, and suddenly I get married into a joint family, which was little conservative, more conservative than where I've come from. And I was very educated, like I was an engineer. So, I was wanted to work and create a niche for myself. Wherein, when I got into this family, um, I had my issues. It's not easy to live in a joint family, right? And I was expected to be the trophy wife, right? And to look after the garden, to look after the house, to look after my everybody in the house, and not think about work or having a career. So somewhere I was very dissatisfied. So all this while I was dealing with my share of anxieties and depressions, and I dealt a lot in relationships. And that is when I started learning about how relationships work, how I can work on making myself happy so that I can make everybody around me happy. And then I realized that it all starts with me. The relationship story actually starts with me. It starts with having a relationship with your own self.
So the starting with the journey is
Yes.
within you.
Yes. So that's when I learned about relationships. I learned about how emotions are important and how, because of our relationships, our mental health is disturbed, our emotional health is disturbed. And this leads to diseases in the body. So everything was so interrelated and actually started from relationships. It's when I realized that relationships, the state of your relationship is the state of your health or the state of your life. So if you want to really change your life, maybe you should work on a relationship with yourself and then next the relationship you have with people around you. So that's how I started learning about everything, and then I compiled everything and started working with people. And I thought it's not so difficult. Then why we don't know how to deal with relationships? There are rules. There are certain ground rules. There are certain things that we should know, and that's how my journey started.
Lovely, lovely.
Yeah.
I think in today's world, you'll also agree that we're too much occupied in a digital space. Sadly, of course, this session is also going to be a digital display of it. But how do you see how do we maintain a balance कि हमारा digital consumption जो है versus our mental well-being and relationship especially? How does that balance work? What are your, let's say, true tips to maintain that kind of a balance?
Okay, so I feel it's not the social media which is the problem. It is not the digital which is the problem. Social media, actually, if you look at it, it has brought people closer. You've met so many of your old friends on social media, right? I remember when I went to Orkut at that
Then
time.
that time,
Yeah, and I found my college mates, and I was so thrilled. I was so happy to see them all and to find out what they were doing and all that. So, actually, social media has brought us all together. It's not about the social media, it's about how we deal with it. You know, we live in a world where we feel jealous when we look at people.
enviness.
Yeah, envious, because we are looking at these people and they are putting their best pictures, right? And they are displaying what is the best time they're having, the good times that they're having and all that. And we look at that and we feel jealous of these people. That creates a problem. Secondly, we start having expectations, and these are like These are, like, I would say, these are the expectations which are very unreasonable expectations from our own spouse or our partner, that he or she should be doing the same. And that is where the problem starts.
Copy, you know.
कॉपी करो या ट्रेंड बन जाओ, मेरे साथ भी वही होना चाहिए, मुझे भी ऐसा वाला प्रपोजल चाहिए.
मतलब how do we disconnect कि ठीक है, मतलब एक स्टोरी आती है कि yes you can be inspired about it, that you know, let's say you know, for people like us or young people who are little occupied in their work, कभी कभी हमारी भी एक थोड़ी रियलिटी चेक मिल जाता है कि यार you have to spend time with your partner.
Yeah.
बट एज यू राइटली सेड, वो एक्सपेक्टेशन सेट करना कि अगर वो ऐसा चीज़ कर रहा है तो आपको भी ऐसे करना है. हाउ डू वी गेट डिस्कनेक्टेड विद दैट? वेयर डू वी ड्रॉ दैट लाइन ऑफ इन बीइंग इंस्पायर्ड बट नॉट बीइंग इमिटेटिव ऑफ दैट?
Yeah, that is the whole story. No, you need to be fulfilled in yourself. You need to have that contentment inside of you. We live in a space of instant gratification. आज का रात, आज आपको कुछ खाना है तो इंस्टेंट नूडल्स, राइट? यू वांट एनीथिंग, अमेजोन पे आ जाएगा.
2 मिनट में सब कुछ.
एग्जैक्टली. सो दैट इज द प्रॉब्लम. वी डोंट हैव द पेशेंस कि अभी आज हम बीज बोएंगे और कल वो बड़ा होगा.
पेशेंस
एंड पेशेंस ही नहीं है. So that is where, because this generation is of instant gratification. I'm not saying that because they have been brought up like that.
Yeah.
They are in this digital space where everything is instantly available to them. So first of all, we have to understand every person who's looking the best on social media actually have their own issues. They have their own pains. They have their own issues and relationships.
Correct.
Right? So we need to understand that and have to be an allowance of our relationship. Have to accept our relationship the way it is. Right? And having said that, it all starts with self. The better relationship which we have with our own selves, the more grounded we are, the more safe we feel within our own selves, the more insecure, the less insecure we'll feel outside.
Correct.
Right?
That makes all sense, you know, because अपने आप से कोई शुरुआत करोगे तो आप बेसिकली कुछ कर पाओगे.
Right?
That's true. You know, I was reading about this concept called as emotional labor.
Yeah.
Very honestly, मेरे को भी बड़ा, it's a new introduction for me. And I think you being the master of this topic, and you know, you do relationship coaching as well, walk us through what actually emotional labor is, and you know, how do young couples, or even let's say any relationship you have between your father, mothers, or whatever, how do we ensure that the emotional labor question is not there?
Okay, so first of all, you'll have to understand what emotional labor actually is.
Yeah.
Emotional labor is, in very layman language, if I have to say, you're not, you are people pleasing at the cost of your own emotions, if we have to simply put it that way. Right? Now, here you are being a martyr. You are giving your 100%. Right? You're suppressing your own needs. You're giving more than which is required. You're putting yourself out there for the relationship. Right? Why? Because somewhere you are scared that if I don't do that, I will not be accepted. I will not be acknowledged. I will not have that feeling of belongingness. So you're giving this. Now, when you're suppressing yourself, what happens? When you suppress yourself, you will actually one day you'll burst out.
Yeah.
You'll have arguments. You will have suppression. You will have breakups. So it actually leads to all these problems. Now, this here you need to work on, okay, where is this emotional, labor coming from? It's coming from a space of where you were either not given attention in your childhood, your needs were not given priority, or you had to do something to, get the attention, acceptance from your parents or from the caregivers. And it is coming from that space.
That was really insightful. Now coming to the next topic, and I've got a list of topics as well to get through it. What is called as mindful infidelity. Right? You're talking about, now people talk about, I'm not physically cheated, but I'm emotionally cheated. And of course, we find this as a new wave in the younger couples that, physically it's all fine, but emotionally, I feel very cheated or betrayed. So first, let's talk about what emotional cheating means actually.
So if you look at emotional cheating, what does this mean? You are texting somebody, you are on Facebook with someone, you are chatting with someone, right? You're talking to someone. This is emotionally you are being invested in somebody else. So tell me, is there a difference between a sexual relationship, a sexually infidelity, and emotional fidelity? I don't think so. They are
Because you are
equally,
emotionally invested somewhere else.
yeah, you're equally cheating on the person. You are giving your time, which was supposed to be your spouse's time. You are giving it to somebody else. Imagine you go out and you talk to somebody else, you spend time with somebody else, you have shared all your emotions with somebody else, and when you come back home, you are sorted. But when you come back home, your spouse is feeling drained. They have no vent. They are not getting your time, your emotions, your sharing. Right? Okay, think about it. When your relationship started, how was the honeymoon period? Or how was the first dating period? You were texting,
Correct.
you were talking, you were chatting long hours,
Yeah. And getting to
Right.
know more.
getting to know each other and all that, right? That was the time, and that is what you're doing now with with somebody else. There is no difference between an emotional and a sexual. It's the same. Let's see. Actually, if you have had a thought of, say, it's not about the act of it.
It's just the thought of it.
It's just the thought of, okay, where is love?
And getting the thought.
It's in your thought. It's not in the act of the love.
Yeah.
When you're feeling love or you're kissing somebody, that feeling actually creates everything. So it's not the act.
It's just the thought.
Yes. And now you are giving those emotions, your thoughts, your mental space to somebody else, which is supposed to be your partners. So anything that you have to hide from someone or you are actually taking away from your partner is cheating.
So as partners, I mean, as I would say, as a relationship coach, what do you suggest? How should partners cope with this at an early stage before it becomes into physical infidelity and major steps, between couples, you say?
Okay, so if into major you're saying before it becomes sexual.
Before it becomes, physical infidelity.
पहले ये से आगे ही चले जाएं. Okay, that's what. Okay, so I got that. Okay, so first of all, it has to be okay. The victim doesn't know that he's being cheated on. Are we talking about that space?
Yeah. So basically, we're talking about कि भाई couples को कैसे address करना चाहिए because the gap becomes so huge कि physical infidelity हो जाए.
Right. So first of all, if you feel that you are getting attracted to somebody, if a person is feeling that I am getting attracted to somebody, they need to draw a boundary.
Okay.
They need to catch themselves. Right?
So again,
And-
it's a feeling from inside.
Yes, it is a feeling from inside, and it starts from inside. You know, people don't get into a relationship or an affair because they're bad people, or they really want to cheat on the other person, and or is there something wrong with their partner? It's never about that. Even the happy couples, they will go through infidelity. They can go through infidelity. It is so very common. It's so very common in nowadays because so much is available, right? And so many options are available all around you. It is very, very easy, and we all have phones in our hands, and it's just a click of a button. You know, we are in the era of right swipe and left swipe, so it's
Yes,
very,
quick
very
service.
quick service. So it's very, very easy. Now it is about you drawing a boundary, you becoming aware of it. Where are you crossing a boundary? See, it's your commitment,
Yeah.
right? And integrity is what? Integrity is honoring your word. So marriage is also, or marriage or a commitment is actually, when you're committed in a relationship, it is your word against anything else. So you have to be very aware, okay, this is my word and I will not cross this boundary. So that's the awareness you must have. And then you have to actually talk it out with your spouse maybe and sit with them and, okay, this is how I'm feeling about the relationship, or this is what I'm not getting, or this is where I'm feeling there is a gap or there is a void and we need to fix it. Like it could be as simple as starting a date night.
Yeah.
You know, having a date night together where you both are communicating with each other, where you're spending time with each other.
And sharing your vulnerability.
Yes, and sharing your vulnerability. Okay, and this is what I'm feeling. And you know, it's very, very important. The communication part is very important. It's very, very important to communicate your needs to the other person, because the other person, antaryami to koi nahi hai na. They don't know. You have to tell them. In most of the relationship, we think you should know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
वो एक वो wrong expectation set हो जाती है
हाँ, you should know.
आप मुझे अगर इतने
आपको
टाइम
नहीं पता?
डांटते हो तो आपको नहीं पता इसमें क्या?
हाँ,
आई थिंक वो भी एक फैक्टर होता है कि दैट स्पेस बिकम्स बिगर एंड बिगर एंड बिगर.
yeah. And nobody knows because everybody is बच्चा भी जब तक रोता नहीं है माँ उसको दूध नहीं देती है. So you have to actually tell कि this is my expectation and this is what I want from this relationship, or maybe we could do things together, or that's how you work on the relationship. And so anytime you're feeling कि okay, I met this person and it's going a little beyond than what is a normal friendship is, or I'm having this feeling towards this person, or I feel like spending more time with this person, then you have to draw a boundary and just reach out to your spouse and be vulnerable about your needs. I'm not saying necessarily you have to go and say, "Oh, I'm attracted to this person," and there is nothing wrong in having attraction.
Right. Then you are sure that you have those kind of
Yes,
unwanted things in your body.
yes. So attraction is very normal,
That's what I'm saying.
right? It is very, very normal. But the only thing is you need to, okay, this is how I cannot move beyond this.
So this is what we talk about, how you can come out of an affair and how you can start. But again, for partners, let's say in this, or any relation, I would mention meet friendship also. And आजकल जो friends with benefits and all concepts.
Situationship.
Situations, right? That's the right word. How do you heal after when you get self-aware of it? How do you heal?
So let's say there has been an affair. We'll talk about that. Okay. So there has been an affair. So there are two people. One who's a victim, and the other who's had an affair, who had all the fun. Right? So now that you've been caught or you are aware of this relationship, first thing, the person who has caused this pain in the, I would call it pain. It's like, actually I call it a death. Because the pain that you have when you go through affair or infidelity is like the death of a relationship. So the pain, the person who is going through this process, the pain that they feel is actually, it's the same pain a person feels when they're going through a grief or a death. So it's the same. So the person who has committed this thing has to be aware, because awareness of the act, right, it actually starts the process of healing. So there will be a guilt involved. Okay, I did this and I'm hurting. The person I love the most is hurting. As I said, it's not that the bad people do have affairs, or it's not that कि अच्छी शादियों में affair नहीं हो सकते. It can be anywhere. And the reason is not that कि your spouse or your wife or your better half or the other person is wrong, right? So first thing first is the awareness. Second thing is you have to give a lot of reassurance to the partner. A lot of reassurance, because they will ask you questions. They will keep asking you about, how it happened, what happened. And another thing is you need to bring it out instead of waiting for them, because there is so much. Yeah, because there is so much guilt. You don't want to talk about it because you've done something wrong and you see the other person hurting, so you don't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
So you have to bring it up and assure the other person that I am there for you, and maybe I did this thing and now I want to rebuild this relationship with you, and the most important person in my life is you, and this is the reassurance when you give to this person. That's when things start changing. And another thing which you can do is you have to be very, very transparent. You have to share your locations. You have to share the passwords.
It's more about rebuilding the
trust, right? So trust has to be rebuilt. And let's say on the other side, you're a victim. As a victim, what you start doing is, one, you will start doubting your own self. Yeah, you'll have self-doubt. Okay, there was something wrong with me. That is why he went out. Or that's what the society also says, right? कि तुम्हारे साथ कुछ गड़बड़ होगा, जो उसे घर पे नहीं मिला तभी वो बाहर ढूंढने गया and all that. So you have to understand, instead of doubting yourself, work on loving yourself, instead of bashing yourself up. Also, you would want to ask a lot of questions. Is there anything wrong with me? Why did you go? Am I not attractive enough?
Communication.
Yeah. So now you need to ask the right questions. What was the motive? Was I the reason? 90% of the time, it's not the spouse who's the reason. Okay. And then you need to also ask, okay, were you thinking about the family? Were you thinking about the children when you did walk out of our marriage like that? Right? And how can we rebuild it now? What is it that I can do in this relationship? See, there are two ways. This this whole episode of affair, it can actually, it can break the marriage, and those marriages which were actually on the brink of breaking, they will break, or it will recreate this marriage, because now this feels has come into place. Yes, and now you both are actually aware of looking at each other from a different perspective, and the whole your marriage gets a different perspective, and now you can grow together. It's actually happening for your growth, right?
Makes sense. See, we're talking about how infidelity, emotion, but I've also noticed that nowadays there are couples who prefer getting married, but individual aspirational goals are so big that even at the start of their marriages, or let's say a union, they're still living their individual life.
Yeah.
And I keep on coming across such episodes more and more that over the years they are under that one roof, and for public image, right, that is on the gram or there's one perfect picture. Now behind it there are two individuals living separate lives with two separate wardrobes. How do people come over that? How do people start realizing that what is a bigger essence in this whole unionship of marriage?
Okay. So earlier, a marriage was built on financial dependence, right? Now, all the people, even the girls and the boys, both are very financially independent,
Correct.
right? So if they're coming together, they're coming together for love, right? Or companionship. But this companionship or love can only work when they have a relationship with their own self. Because when you come into a relationship, the first thing which happens is the other person will show you your shadows, right? They will show you what you don't like, or what is missing inside of you,
Correct.
right? And whatever irritates you in the other person is actually your shadow. So you start looking at the other person. हम अपने आप को नहीं देख सकते ना. We can only see the other person in somebody else's eyes.
True.
Right? So if I want to see who I am, I can only see through your eyes. And I might or might not like that picture. Right? That is where all the problems start. The problem starts when you start getting irritated with the other person. You are not okay with your own self. So to build that relationship, effort has to be put. You have to spend time together. The biggest problem, if I look at, I don't know, I'm not generalizing, but I'm just saying, okay, arranged marriages kind of work more than the love marriages. Why would I say that? And it's not like it's a given rule, but that's the statistics nowadays. And that's because in the arranged marriage, you don't know the person.
So the charm of knowing
the person, it's actually, ऐसा नहीं है कि 2 साल बाद वो differences नहीं आएंगे, सब कुछ होगा. But the charm of knowing the person, spending time with the person, getting to know each other, the newness.
adoption.
Yeah, adaptation, and the honeymoon hormones which are getting secreted, that is actually there. So you have to now, if somebody is moving out of the relationship, is because everything is hormones, right? Because that dopamine or the serotonin or the oxytocin is not getting released. So you need to spend time together. You need to do some activities together. You need to learn certain things together to build that relationship. And relationship is a process. और शादी में ना बहुत सारे phases होते हैं. You will both come together as lovers. Maybe then you will little bit move apart because you'll have responsibilities and things and all that. Then you will have children. Then you become mummy, papa. Then suddenly you become friends. And towards the later half of your life, you are like friends because your responsibilities are done and all that. So there are different phases to life. And that's the whole charm of life. Does that answer your question?
Absolutely. I mean, that plays out here again. Investment is again into that bond or relationship.
Yes.
Yeah, correct. I think one word we keep on talking about in a relationship, fathers and mothers and daughter, is space. Space chick. Right. So define what space is.
Okay. So, what is the biggest need of any human being?
Man, just to breathe, I would say.
The biggest need is freedom. Everybody wants freedom, right? You are actually creating these things, you're working hard to have a financial freedom,
Correct.
right? We all are looking for freedom in life, right? But if we try to suffocate the other person, see, we come from there is something called codependency. When we are so dependent on the other person कि हमारी खुशी, हमारा गम, हमारा सब कुछ is related to the other person. Like if my children are leaving for college, I'll have an empty nester feeling. Why? Because I'm so dependent. Right? Even my if my husband is wants to go out with his friends, I am feeling unhappy or I am sad. Why? Because I'm so dependent on him. Right? My happiness, my everything depends on him. So that is the biggest problem. So space is very important. Where and in the space, what do you do in that space? Actually, you work on yourself. You go within, and you connect with your own self. As I said, relationship. When you go into a relationship, the quality of your relationship is the quality of relationship that you have with your own self. So when you're getting this time, when you're giving each other space, when you're allowing him to be with his friends or allowing him to go wherever he wants to or spend some time with himself, and you get to spend time with yourself, that is the time you need to introspect. And sometimes when you zoom out and you look at your relationship from an outer space,
For the third person.
as a third person, something shifts. And there is also part of good guilt and a bad guilt.
Ansha.
Yeah.
What if-
What is the good guilt? Okay, so if I have spent, let's say I am going out with my friends for 3 days.
Yeah.
Well, coming back, I feel guilty?
Of course.
Of course. And when I come back and I'm feeling guilty, तो आप क्या करोगे? You will do more for the relationship. Yeah? Maybe you will take home gifts, or maybe you will spend time, or maybe you will give them more.
Yeah.
So isn't good guilt good then?
Absolutely. So I get there. So initially when in our marriage, so when my wife used to go to her own house, we go to the kab. That's reverse.
Yeah.
ठीक है रहते. But when she comes back, that's the time we have our date nights.
Yes.
So again,
You miss each other.
yeah, that's a correlation.
So the fondness increases when there is distance.
Yeah.
So this relation, actually, a marriage or any relationship has two components. One is connectivity, and other is separation. So there has to be a balance of both, the connection and the separation.
Okay.
So when you create that balance, the marriage becomes so beautiful, or the relationship becomes very beautiful.
Very true.
You don't have to suffocate each other, and you don't have to be on each other's neck all the time. Right?
That's also right. So I mean, interestingly, I know that you run a school also, yeah, which is called Journey Within. And under that school, you help people with relationships. You help people getting out of depression, and you're also helping young budding people to come and start their journey of being life coach as well. So just talk us through कि आप क्या क्या initiative work कर रहे हो उसके अंदर.
Okay, so under the umbrella of Journey Within, I have 4 verticals, which I say. One is the one-to-one coachings, which I work with individuals or couples. I have been into couple therapy for a long time now. And so that is kind of a surgery where you come with an individuals, 2 individuals or 1 individual come. And relationships, when I ask people, they say कि हमें दोनों को आना पड़ेगा. So I feel relationship is not 50-50. That's the wrong equation. Relationship is 100% me and 0% there. है ना? I'm giving my 100%, you give your 0%, or you give 10%, that's a bonus. Right? So that's how relationships are. So one is one-to-one. Then another which game is I take people on retreats. So these are 3 nights, 4 days of retreats where we mostly we go, my first level of retreats are in Jim Corbett. Right. So I take people and we work on the letting go of the past trauma. Right? And letting go of the subconscious belief system that they're carrying. So a lot of baggage that we have in relationships is coming from your past. It's coming from what you have seen of relationships in your childhood. Yeah. So we help you to reprogram that. And then we work on the karmic imprints also. So that's the work we do in the retreat. Okay. And people have gotten amazing results there. They've weaned out of medicines. I have seen relationships with it. I have seen 2 couples coming from different places and going back to the same house. So I have seen amazing results in relationships, and of course the health area. And then third is my corporate retreats, which I do for corporates. Nowadays, they earlier used to say, "Ma'am, emotions pe baat mat karna." Now they talk about emotions. They talk about spiritual quotient and everything.
Because it's very important.
Yes, it's very important.
Employee, employer,
Yeah.
emotion question
Yes.
is the biggest thing.
Yes.
And that's how we also try to keep, invite people
Yeah.
who are much more vocal about, and even in the corporate
Yes.
startup culture.
Yes.
In, let's say mental well-being, emotional question kya hai? And a founder says, I'm burnt out. Why? Talk about-
If you think about a leader, who is a leader? Who has a high EQ? Yeah. So the EQ is becoming very important nowadays. And the fourth area is the life school, which you're talking about. And that's a 1-year journey where people come and understand how the emotions work, how the physical body works, how the spiritual quotient, and who am I, and go deep into the realization of this IQ, which is more important, right? Nowadays, very important. So to understand the whole thing. So this whole program is a 1-year culmination of quantum physics, metaphysics, about manifestations. It's about chakras. It's about blending science and spirituality. It's a whole 1-year program, and that's about it. And people get certified as life coaches, business coaches,
That's a great.
workshop trainers.
So you're training, we're building up your own army.
Yes, and my coaches are doing very well, and in fact, my coaches are helping me in my work. Like I have people who are helping me do a lot of things, sound healers, and there are people who are into Reiki, and there are other coaches who are doing a lot of artwork therapies and all that, and they are all part of my tribe, and they are working with me. And we want to create a big community where people can come and heal any aspect of their life.
That's great. I think one topic which just came through your conversation was, आपने मेरी बात कही कि retreats के अंदर that you talk about previous generations.
Yeah.
And I think if you're a 90s kid, 99% you will always have, you might have suffered.
Yeah.
You might have got ignored, but you might have, I'm sure that you have seen it, but might have ignored it. So, that intergenerational trauma जो होता है, right? Being in 90s, I can say that every family had it. हमारा coping mechanism थोड़ा different था. And I think individually everyone has their different. How does that impact your shape? How does that shape you as a person?
Very perfect question, because you know what? It's not about the 90s or it's not about the 80s. I am from this late 60s. But actually, we were all broken. We were all broken in our childhood, right? And we were actually victims. But we were victims of whom? We were victims of victims. They were a victim of their parents and they were victim of their parents. So it's a transgenerational thing which is going on. And because nobody knew how to, take care of a child, and today people are very conscious, and we have this a lot of
Today actually,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
look at you. Today supports are able, people are more vocal and people want to go out.
Yeah, and they are more open to therapy and going and talking to coaches and working on themselves. The transgenerational thing does exist, and it is like, let's understand it this way. Okay, I'll give you one example. So there is a husband-wife, right? And the husband comes home late. So the wife fights with the husband, right? And they both fight and they both sleep in separate rooms. Now come to think about it. The wife had a father who had extramarital affair, right? And she's always fearful of abandonment because she had seen abandonment in her childhood, right? She has a fear of abandonment. So she's always fearful, ye mujhe chhod dega. Right? The husband is coming from a space where he had seen his mother being too possessive about the father. So he has a fear of suffocation. Right? Ab aap mujhe ek baat batao. Who is right and who is wrong?
I mean, individually, both of them are.
Both of them are right because they have their own trauma coming from their childhood. Right? But they don't realize. They have no understanding. It is so subtle. It is sitting in your unconscious. It is sitting in your subconscious. And that's the impact of whatever happened in your life. See, we are programmed robots. We've been programmed from the age of 0 to 7. So we have seen relationships a certain way, and whatever we saw of relationships, that's how we relate to people. That's how we react in relationships. Because वही हमने देखा है. We saw our father doing a certain way. We think, okay, this is the way how relationships are meant to be. ये ऐसा ही होता है. And I remember in relationship with my children, I used to think when I was younger, I used to say मैं अपनी मम्मी की तरह कभी नहीं act करूँगी. But when I became a mother, I was exactly behaving like my mother. You know what? Because they say na ki you marry your father.
Yeah.
For girls they say, and for boys they say that you marry your mother.
Very
It's exactly true, because you biomimic your parents' relationship in your relationship. And that's the impact of, and we have to become aware कि, okay, whatever they did was right from their perspective, from the understanding they had at that point of time. जानबूझ के तो हम गलती नहीं करते ना. So we were doing what we felt, they were doing what they felt was right at that point of time. And today we were doing what we felt was right at that point of time. So we have to come into awareness. That was then, this is now. And that's how they behaved. And now I understand, okay, this is coming from my parents' relationship, or this is coming from my past, where I saw my family or my parents or my caregivers do this way. And now I am aware, how will I want to behave in this relationship? So
I think this will be a really eye-opener section. Very insightful. Again, thank you so much for giving us time. And I hope everyone here who's watching right now gets a glimpse of what you have been doing. And I think my key learning would be, of course, have patience, which I keep on telling my friends, Patience is the key for any relationship. Communicate. Be it a bad communication or good, but communicate.
Yeah.
And at that moment, I think between me and my partner, we made this a pact, and we're at least till now we are following it up. If we have a fight that goes, then we don't take the fight to the bed before we go. It has to be sorted, otherwise we're not talking about it. So thank you so much, and I hope you keep on doing this wonderful journey. And thank you for coming.